I live in a quiet suburban neighborhood. The kind of place where lawns are trimmed, flags are out on holidays, and everyone smiles politely while secretly judging each other's grass length. And like many suburban neighborhoods, we have an HOA. Now, I'm not anti-HOA by default. I understand why they exist. But what I am against is people who use HOA authority as a power trip. Enter Karen. She moved in about a year after I bought my house. Mid-50s. Always dressed like she was heading to a meeting she didn't actually have. Clipboard, sunglasses, tight smile. From day one, she acted like she ran the neighborhood. And eventually she did, because she became HOA vice president. That's when the problems really started. I didn't bother Karen at first. I followed the rules, paid dues, kept my yard clean. But Karen noticed something about my house she didn't like. My backyard fence. It was tall, solid, legally installed, approved by the HOA years before she even moved in. And Karen hated it. She knocked on my door one Saturday morning, smiling like she was doing me a favor. "Hi, I'm Karen from the HOA. We've received complaints about your fence." I asked who complained. She said, "Multiple residents." That was my first red flag, because my neighbors had never said a word about it. Over the next few weeks, Karen sent me emails. First, it was the height of the fence, then the color, then the fact that it blocked sightlines. Every complaint was vague. Every demand came with threats of fines. I checked the HOA bylaws. My fence was 100% compliant. When I told her that, her tone changed. The smile vanished. And that's when she said something I'll never forget. "Well, rules can change." That's when I knew this wasn't about the fence. This was about control. A neighbor tipped me off a few weeks later. Karen wanted access to my backyard. Why? Because behind my fence was a shared greenbelt area, technically HOA property, but access was only possible through my yard or by walking half a mile around the block. Karen didn't want to walk. She wanted a shortcut. Through my property. I said no. And that's when she snapped. Karen started issuing fines, trash can violations, grass height, unapproved landscaping. All bogus. I disputed everyone. She lost every time. That only made her angrier. Then one day I installed security cameras. Best decision I ever made. Because 2 weeks later, Karen made her biggest mistake. I came home from work early one afternoon. As I pulled into my driveway, I heard screaming. Not yelling. Screaming. From my backyard. I ran around the house and froze. Karen was on the ground, bleeding, crying, and my fence was damaged. She had tried to climb it, and she had fallen. Hard. The moment she saw me, she pointed and screamed, "You did this to me!" She claimed the fence was unsafe. She claimed she had HOA authority. She claimed she had a right to be there. None of that mattered, because she was trespassing, and my cameras caught everything. The police showed up. Karen tried to spin the story, said she was inspecting HOA property, said I booby-trapped my fence, said she was attacked by negligence. Then the officer asked one simple question. "Do you have proof?" I smiled and showed them the footage. The footage showed Karen, looking around, checking if anyone was watching, climbing my fence, losing her grip, falling. No sabotage, no trap, no wrongdoing, just entitlement. The officer turned to her and said, "Ma'am, you're lucky you're not being charged with trespassing." She went silent. 2 weeks later, I was served papers. Karen was suing me for medical bills, for emotional distress, for unsafe property conditions. I couldn't believe it. But my lawyer loved the case. In court, Karen played the victim, cried, blamed me, blamed the HOA, blamed everyone but herself. Then my lawyer played the video. The judge watched, silently, then asked Karen, "Why were you on his property?" She had no answer. The case was dismissed. Karen was ordered to pay my legal fees. And the HOA? They removed her from the board. She moved out 6 months later. Karen thought HOA authority made her untouchable. She thought rules only applied to others. She thought entitlement could replace accountability. She was wrong. And every time I look at my fence now, I smile. Because it stood strong, just like the truth.